Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Candace and welcome to my April TBR. Apologies for any noise that you might hear. It is currently thundering and we're having a good storm outside. This is baby girl. She is frightened of thunder, so she might whine and she's definitely going to be all up in my attention right now, but I'm here to do my April TBR. It is late, but I wanted to go ahead and get it up and posted. So there are two readathons in April that I am participating in. The first one is the Magical Readathon hosted by G at Book Roast. I'll make sure to link her information down below. I have chosen 3 careers that I could possibly, or callings that I could possibly go for. And they stagger from most difficult to medium difficulty to low difficulty, just depending on how my reads are going to go this month. I'm not really sure. So the one with the most classes, so the highest difficulty one, is The Alchemist. And as a chemist in real life, I just couldn't pass this opportunity up. It's a far reach. It's a very, very high reach. So they have to take elemental studies, animal studies, astronomy, alchemy, inscription, artificery, spells and incantations, restoration, demonology, and lore. So that's quite a few hefty books. So the middle level, which is a Order of the Crescent exclusive calling, which I'm a member of the Order of the Crescent, is the Master of Elements, which again, as a chemist, it kind of just calls to me. And that one requires elemental studies, shape-shifting, animal studies, astronomy, conjuration, and restoration. So not as many books, and 6 isn't that big of a deal. It's just a matter of my 6 books that I read for the month, do they match the prompts? So last but not least, if I don't reach any of those, my third calling that I have chosen is Mage Hunter, which is elemental studies, spells and incantations, conjuration, and restoration. So 4 books. So that's the first one I'm going with. So the second readathon that I'm participating in this month is Realmathon, hosted by Cassidy at Covers with Cassidy. I'll link the announcement video down below. But I'm part of Team Iskana. So the whole point of Realmathon is to read military fantasies, and there's like 40 prompts, increasing, decreasing, depending on which book you read and how many prompts you can fit it. You can fit up to 5 prompts per book. I've got my books picked out that I want to read, and then I'm just gonna fit them in. Since this is going up already a week into April, I have already finished 1 book off of my TBR, which is The Invisible Life of Ade LaRue. This book could be a possible of 7 points towards Iskana, and for the Magical Readathon, I can read it for alchemy because it features a romance. Next book on my on my TBR is She Who Became the Sun. I have it in a protective cover because I don't want the foiling to get messed up. This is possibly a military fantasy, and so that's an additional plus 10 points for Iskana there. I also don't know of any other prompts it fits right now. Besides, it's a possible military fantasy. I know there's a monk in the story, so could potentially feature healers, which would work for my restoration prompt for the Magical Readathon. Next book on my possible TBR is The Justice of Kings. This is an awesome Goldsboro edition. This one, I don't know a lot about, but he's like the judge, juror, and executioner all in one. This could fit maybe for military fantasy, not really sure. It talks about wars, so maybe military fantasy on that, and that'll give me a plus 10 for Iskana, and then I can just fit it with whatever prompts there are. I could read this one for inscription for my Magical Readathon because this is an intimidating read. Another book on my TBR is Age of Ash. This one is another Goldsboro edition. This one is about thief. Brother ends up dead and she goes on an adventure to figure out why. So not a military fantasy that I know of, but it does fit several prompts. And I think it was like a plus 9 to 10 towards Iskana. This book can fit the conjuring prompt for Magical Readathon because if you look really closely, right there, there's some lightning on the cover, which is a source of light. So that can work for the conjuring prompt. Next on my TBR is The Poppy War. This is not only a military fantasy, but it's also a Cassidy fave, which is plus 20. And then I can fit it for whatever other prompts come up. This is supposed to be pretty intense. I'm pretty excited about it. It also is a very intimidating read. So it could work for inscription for the Magical Readathon. This one could work for artificery because there's an earth setting and this is based on real war events. Another book on my TBR is Jade City. This is, I think, a fantasy about 2 warring clans. They're basically like, not really sure what's going on. So I'm gonna read this. Don't know which prompts it's gonna fit yet for Realmathon. So this one for the Magical Readathon, mythology inspired, then I can do it for lore. Definitely an intimidating read, definitely at the top of my TBR as well. I'll just see which one I can fit it based on what it's inside the book. So we'll go there. And then the last one I have on my TBR for this is The Wheel of Time. The very first book, The Eye of the World. I know absolutely nothing about this series except for that it's a fantasy, and I think it's a military fantasy, so 10 points there for that. For Realmathon, I don't know what happens in it. I don't want to know what happens in it. I want to keep myself completely unknown to this until I read it. There's that one. I'll fit it with whatever I need for Realmathon. I'll fit it for whatever I need for the Magical Readathon. Here's my hefty little stack. I've already finished that one. I've started this one and I've started this one. That's my temporary, possible, maybe TBR for the 2 readathons in April. We'll see how it goes. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you wanna. All my contacts are down in the description box. And I'll catch you in whatever I put out next.